Hey there, everybody. This is your psychic, Christine Wallace. Thank you so much for being here. And also, thank you for, being patient with me. I do not upload episodes as much as I should. Obviously, I do intend to go live very soon. So I would absolutely love it if you guys simply subscribe to my podcast so you can be able to get notifications of whenever I do upload something or when I do go live, so you can be there to ask me questions and we can do this live. I would also love for you guys to go ahead and simply follow me on TikTok, and I'll tell you why. I need to have 1,000 followers. I have like 580 followers so far, but I do need 1,000 followers to be able to go live on TikTok. And right now, like I said, I only have like about 580 followers. So please find me on TikTok at Psychic Reading Expert. So I am here in Philadelphia. It has been crazy hot. We had this crazy heat wave for the longest time. And I think it went through the whole month of August. And now we're still kind of in the upper 80s, low 90s. Me personally, I love the West Coast weather because the humidity there's like no humidity, and I love that. So, yeah. When it comes to weather, I definitely like the West Coast over the East Coast. And I am a bi-coastal psychic, so I do travel back and forth. I do see clients in the West Coast as well as the East Coast. So if I have listeners here on my podcast that are in the West Coast, I will post up on my website, psychicreadingexpert.com, as to when you can be able to book an appointment and see me face to face. So I'm sure that a lot of you would probably prefer to see me in person, but I also do Zoom readings as well. So we don't have to wait. It's not necessary, and it's not like the readings are any more or less accurate via Zoom. I'm just putting it out there. But I know I have a lot of people here on the East Coast that prefer seeing me face to face instead of doing a phone session or whatever. So I'm just putting it out there. It doesn't change anything, but like I said, I will put something up on my website when I am in the West Coast and ready to see all of my followers on Instagram and what's it called, TikTok, and all this YouTube social media stuff. I'm not big on social media. I have to be honest. I don't really put myself out there a whole lot, and I know I should, but I'm kind of a hit and miss with it, to be honest. I'm more focused on a lot of the people that are my members, that are in my membership, that come in and see me, or just really just find me through my website and communicate with me that way. But nonetheless, I try to keep up with this podcast as much as I can, and right now it is 3:20 a.m. New York time. And yeah, so my hours are a little strange because I go into meditation for a lot of the clients that I work for, and I am up at the strangest hours and asleep at the strangest hours. And this is why I prefer to do readings for people in the afternoon. But anyway, again, here we are, and I have an oracle deck of cards in front of me called The Hidden Truth. And I also have some oracle cards here as well that pretty much predict the future about love and marriage and all that stuff. And it is my belief that if you're, here, and I'm not saying that whatever I pull up is going to apply to everyone that's listening, but I do know that these messages, if you're here and if this applies to you, then you were meant to hear this. So before I get into pulling up some cards and stuff for you guys, I want to talk about the number one reason that people are coming in to see me, which is usually, and I'm sure that you guys can guess, it's usually in relation to the most difficult and complicated relationships, or going through a series of negative experiences and a lack of fulfillment in personal life, romantic life, or just basically living in a life of dissatisfaction. Now, there are a number of reasons as to why a person's life, or your life, or maybe some of my listeners here, could be going through something like that. There are, in some cases, some spiritual underlying causes, such as past life experience, and there's also sometimes this generational thing that's passing down from one generation to the next, and sometimes like there's a void inside of us and we keep searching to fill the void. And many of us make the assumption that filling the void is finding your soulmate. And once you find your soulmate, everything is going to be okay, and we're going to live happily ever after. Prince Charming or Princess Charming has come in, and here we are, and then we just end up not feeling it, and then these relationships get destroyed before they ever had a chance to become anything, because of our false beliefs in thinking that this is the cure. In order to have a good, happy, lasting relationship, all of my listeners here need to understand that you have to be in a very good and healthy state of mind, body, and spirit. And I'm not saying that you have to be perfect in order to get a relationship going. I mean, God knows we all have issues. But when you think that you're feeling like really bad, or feeling like you're like sadness and just feeling like you have all these open wounds emotionally, and you keep reflecting on negative events that have happened in the past, and it keeps replaying and replaying and replaying in your head, and it just puts you in this dark mental state. I'm telling you, if that's what you're feeling now in your life, or anything close to that, you're not ready to have a good and happy relationship. A lot of us, like I said, think that having a relationship is a cure to that, and then we start to go into a relationship that could possibly be a happy one, but we have all these trust issues. We bring a lot of our past into the present. We make a lot of assumptions about things. And, well, that's one way of doing the wrong thing. But there's also another way of doing the wrong thing, and that is wanting so badly to sustain a relationship or be in a relationship. Is fear of being alone is a big one. So, let's say you have fear of being alone or just want to have someone there. Sometimes you can get involved with a terrible person that isn't good for you, like a narcissist, for example, and they represent 10% of the population. So I think that's about what I saw, maybe 6 or 10% of the population. Who knows what that, numbers business, I don't know. But I think it's safe to assume that there are a lot of these guys running around out there, a lot of men and women. And we end up also not trusting our own judgment. Like, we'll see the red flags, but we want the relationship to work, so we're just going to sweep those red flags under the rug, right? That's what we do. We tolerate things that we shouldn't tolerate and just hope and pray that in time things will get better. Or maybe if I do this, that, and the other, then this can be better, and so on and so on. And basically, to someone that's a narcissist or the wrong person, they can just totally see that as you being vulnerable and kind of exploiting these vulnerabilities. And with a narcissist, they can sometimes be the greatest people, and then suddenly, out of the blue, they pull the rug from under you. Now, these are people that have their own issues. So the combination of your issues and their issues is just like fire and dynamite. So, what am I trying to say? What is the point here, Christine? The point is it's not good to jump into relationships just because you're not feeling great. No. The answer to life's problems is not being committed and in a relationship. The answer to life's problems is feeling good about yourself, really understanding what it means to love yourself, and making yourself more of a priority. You don't have to be somebody's doormat to be in a relationship, And, getting into a bad relationship, it's better to be alone than in a relationship where you're being lied to or used or taken advantage of in any way, shape, or form. I had met with someone recently that just dumps money on people that she gets involved with, and is really generous with her money to try to sustain a relationship. Very beautiful lady. No reason to have to do that, but she does attract people that are using her and hoping that somewhere along the line it's going to turn into something good. Things don't come up that are bad that ultimately turn out to be good. Usually if it's bad in the beginning, it's probably going to be bad all the way through. Okay? So at the end of the day, this is what I mean by being conscious. This is what I mean by being at a good place. This is what I mean when you're in a bad emotional state, psychologically emotional and spiritual state that will actually, trying to have a relationship in this mindset that you're in, it's not going to work. It just isn't. So what you have to do is take a step back and really do some self-examination, and you have to work on your healing. And that is exactly where I come in, because this is what I do. This is what I've been doing for the last 30 years, helping people heal, going over, in a reading or a consultation that I do with people, I go over, how they are being perceived by the other person, whether they're in fact with their soulmate or not, if the relationship is something that can be fixed or worked on, or is it a lost cause. And if there is something wrong, meaning if there are these open wounds, if there is this constant negative intrusive thought thing going on, whatever the case may be, I do help people heal. Mind, body, and spirit. This is what I do. I meet you where you're at, and we take it from there. I provide your materials for you, reading materials, crystals, candles, meditations, instructions to follow. You've got to be okay to move forward. And while in many cases, the problems are usually mostly personal, that doesn't mean that this stuff is not going to get in the way of other parts of your life, such as work, career, money, health, and so on. It will spill over into those other parts. For example, you're in this draining negative relationship, you're not feeling great, so professionally, career-wise, you're not going to be on your best game. And you need to set realistic goals for yourself. Another big one is you've got to be perfect. And you don't have the luxury as a human being of making mistakes sometimes. Sometimes, and I think that a lot of it goes over many people's heads, that they struggle forgiving themselves for mistakes that they've made, that were accidental. Like, oh, why didn't I see that? Oh, how did I let that person get away with that? Oh my God, I should have done this. Why didn't I say that? How did I let that slip through my fingers? Okay, stop. Stop the noise. We live in a tough world. Life in itself is tough. You're going to have to make some mistakes, and you should forgive yourself for it. It's not all about, mistakes that you make. Other people make mistakes with you too, okay? So what I try to do is help a person start fresh, build on a new foundation moving forward. And it's when you're healthy and happy and feeling stable within yourself that you're ready to take on the challenges of a relationship, move forward in career, and be excited about life. for many of us, we've lost that vibe where life is fun and life is exciting and you're looking forward to tomorrow. That's how life is supposed to be. And if you think for 1 minute you can't be like that, I don't know if you've ever had that experience, but even if you haven't, it can be done if you change the channel and you're feeling better about yourself and thinking about all the good things that you probably already have that you take, and many of us take for granted. A lot of us don't realize how blessed we actually are and how many more blessings you can have in your life as well. And if you have had the experience about being excited about tomorrow and the future and even the present, then you'll know exactly what I'm talking about if you've had it before. And if you've had it before and you don't have it now, that doesn't mean you can never have it again. But at the end of the day, that's going to be up to you. Okay? I mean, I'll help you. I will be there for you. If I'm working for you and we're working together on whatever issues that you're facing in your life, but at the end of the day, it's on you. We would have to work together against the problem. And this is the kind of thing that I do. Yeah, do I do one reading for people and then they kind of go on about their lives? 100%. A lot of people that I do readings for come in, have a reading, and they're okay, they're good. But then again, most of the people that I see usually come in to see me because there's something that they're facing. And I want to thank, if you guys are listening, I want to take this opportunity to thank all the people that have left me such wonderful, wonderful reviews on Google. I really appreciate that. And if you want to go ahead and check them out, just type my name in Google, Psychic Christine Wallace, and it should just automatically pop up. So, without further ado, I've been talking about this for 20 minutes now. Let's just get into these cards, okay? And I'm going to mix these guys up a little bit, and let's see what the hidden truth is. And because some of my listeners here have a message, and you're going to know when you hear what it has to say, you're going to know that this is for you. So I'm going to pull out 3 cards here. Can you guys hear my fountain in the background? Okay, so we just pulled out 3. And someone is telling one of my listeners, see, this is the hidden truth. This is someone is doing this and thinking about one of my listeners. And this person is replaying the conversations over and over again in their minds. So this is sounding to me like there's been a recent breakup or separation. And the person that you are separated from currently is replaying these series of events or conversations that the both of you have had, trying to, you know, trying to understand what's been said to them. So there's someone obviously that is not over you. And then one of my listeners are interested in someone that is currently not available and with somebody else right now. And I hope you know about that and understand that this is not going to go anywhere. So you just need to let that situation go. And there's one person here. My life is not as together as it seems. Okay. So maybe this is looking like, well, I know what it's looking like, so there's no maybe to it. So, listener, this applies to you. I feel that you're actually interested in someone right now and they're not really reciprocating. And you feel unsure as to whether or not this person is interested in you because they're not really, you know, it's not really going anywhere. And it does seem like it's fairly new. And the reason that that is because this person's life is not as together as it seems to be. So, with that being said, my psychic feeling on that is you are interested in someone that has just come out of a serious relationship that is not feeling so great or not ready, or they're basically, their lives are not really together. So you just got to give that person time and space and let it be. Will you ultimately be together? You know, at the end of the day, by the time this comes rolling around, I feel that you'll already be with someone else and happy. So let's go into our next love deck and see what the future has in store, because that was pretty much all about the present. So let's see what else we have going here. And I'm just going to go ahead and pull 3 random cards. And like I said, if I can get my 1,000 followers on TikTok, that would be great, because I can just be able to do these things on TikTok. Okie dokie, I think I might need my glasses for this one. These are small. Hang on just a second, guys. Let me get my glasses on here. Okay, much better. Alright, so one of my listeners has like this crazy chemistry going on with someone. And the strong magnetic connection is because there has been a past life connection to this person. So it's going to work out. And one of my listeners, you're very indecisive right now. You're not sure what to do. And you need to decide very soon so that what you want can come to you now. You've been too long on the middle of the fence. It's time to commit to a specific direction. All right, so in this card here, what I'm feeling is that one of my listeners here are involved or in a relationship with someone that just is not good, and you need to just free yourself, because what I'm seeing here is a caged unicorn. So you're in a cage and you need to get out, and you can. It's time to take back control of your life. You've pretty much given up the steering wheel of your life to another person, which is exactly what I was speaking about earlier when we get into those just to maintain or sustain relationships. We start giving up our control of our own lives. And what happens when we do that is we start having low self-esteem, low confidence, and start finding it so hard to be independent when we've been doing that for too long. And you have to be so careful that that doesn't happen to you. So again, thank you so much for being here. And please subscribe to this podcast. so I know that you're there, and I know that you love these episodes, and I would love for you to put comments up here and tell me how you feel and what you're thinking, or if there's even something that you wish for me to talk about, want me to talk about, and I can absolutely do that for you. Okay, so be sure to subscribe, send me messages. I'm here to answer your questions. This is my purpose. This is my life's purpose. So do the do. Thank you so much for listening. I wish all of you the very best of luck. Namaste, ladies and gentlemen.